Hi everyone, good evening. I hope I'm perfectly audible and visible to you guys. So let's start with this particular session, and long time no see. A lot of time has passed and we have not seen each other. So let's start with this particular session. So in this particular session, basically students, we will be solving one set of questions. 28 क्वेश्चंस जो पूरा का पूरा सेट होता है हमारा क्लैट एग्जाम का जो फॉर्मेट रहता है, उस एग्जाम फॉर्मेट का जो एग्जैक्ट पैटर्न है उसके बेसिस पर जो क्वेश्चंस आपके एग्जाम के लिए रेलेवेंट हो सकते हैं, वी विल आस्क दोज क्वेश्चंस और विल डिस्कस दोज क्वेश्चंस राइट एट दिस मोमेंट. राइट, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद आवर डिस्कशन नाउ. क्लास ले रही थी ये इसमें रखा है. Yeah, so let's start with this particular session now. So I was missing my pen. Without pen you can't write. So let's start. So yeah, this is our static GK and current affairs course dedicated for the students who are preparing for CLAT and ELIT 2027. Because for CLAT and ELIT 2027 GK is actually a problem, then we have a dedicated GK question bank, approximately 4,000 questions in this particular question bank. Then we have a dedicated batch as well, full-fledged batch of Ujjwal Platinum for aspirants of CLAT and ELIT 2027. And then we have recently launched a batch for the aspirants of CLAT and ELIT 2028. So let's start with this. Let's start with this discussion. So we will solve 4 passages. You have to answer each and every question very smartly. So let's start with our discussion now. So this is the first important article or passage. It's based upon 3rd India-Australia Annual Summit hosted by the Prime Minister of Australia, Mr. Anthony Albanese. Right, so let's start with this particular discussion. So during the 3rd India-Australia Annual Summit held in July 2026, the two nations successfully operationalized the administrative arrangement for a landmark bilateral agreement originally signed in which year, thereby enabling the steady supply of Australian uranium to India. Now when we had this discussion on Thursday और Friday, जो हम न्यूज़पेपर वाले आर्टिकल कवर करते हैं, जब हम वो डिस्कस कर रहे थे तब हमने ये सेट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन, ये पर्टिकुलर इंफॉर्मेशन डिस्कस की थी. एनीवन वुड लाइक टू आंसर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1? In which year we signed this particular agreement? 2009, 14, 2020 or 2022? In which year this particular agreement was signed? So for question number 1, students, the correct option is option B. This particular agreement, India-Australia Civil Nuclear Agreement, was signed in 2014. Please remember this, India-Australia Civil Nuclear Agreement was signed in 2014. And please remember this, the uranium that we are importing from Australia is utilized for the production of energy, which means that कि हम पीसफुल पर्पस के लिए उस यूरेनियम का हम यूज करते हैं. राइट, सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, स्टूडेंट्स, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन बी. नाउ विल मूव टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. To support India's domestic PM Surya Ghar Yojana and enhance technical capacity in clean energy, a dedicated rooftop solar training academy was launched during the summit. At which of the following Indian institutions will this academy be established? National Skill Training Institute, Bhubaneswar; Indian Institute of Technology, Madras; Pandit Deen Dayal Energy University, Gandhinagar; or Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Question number 2. Anyone who'd like to answer question number 2? At what place or at what specific institution this rooftop solar training academy would be established? मैंने आपको इसका रेफरेंस दिया था जब हम लोग थर्सडे या फ्राइडे को डिस्कस कर रहे थे, दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर इंस्टीट्यूट वुड बी एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन गुजरात. ठीक है, और गुजरात में कहां पर? पंडित दीनदयाल एनर्जी यूनिवर्सिटी, पंडित दीनदयाल एनर्जी यूनिवर्सिटी विच इज इन गांधीनगर, वहीं पर ये रूफटॉप सोलर ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट स्टैब्लिश किया जाएगा. सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 स्टूडेंट्स, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन सी. नाउ विल मूव टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 3. As part of the bilateral space cooperation outcomes, Australia extended critical tracking support to India's upcoming human spaceflight program, the Gaganyaan mission. On which strategically located Australian island territory will the temporary space tracking terminal be set up? Now this is again a very important question. Consortium of NLUs is very famous for asking some very weird and vague questions. जस्ट लास्ट ईयर उन्होंने पूछा था कि जो लोन सर्वाइवर बच गया था एयर इंडिया क्रैश में, उसका नेशनैलिटी क्या था. सो इफ दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैन बी आस्क्ड बाय द कंसोर्शियम ऑफ एनएलयूज, तो ये वाला क्वेश्चन भी हमारे लिए इक्वली रेलेवेंट हो जाता है. आपको ये बताना है कि किस स्पेसिफिक आइलैंड पर ये क्रिटिकल फैसिलिटी का टेम्परेरी सेटअप एस्टैब्लिश किया जाएगा. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, somebody has said option A. Okay, option A, let's see. So for question number 3, absolutely correct. For question number 3, students, the correct option is option A, that is Cocos Keeling Island. Australia extended crucial support to India's Gaganyaan mission by establishing a temporary space tracking terminal on the Cocos Keeling Island. Right? So again, a very important piece of information. Prime Minister of our country is traveling to a lot of other countries as well. Right, Narendra Modi has at this point of time he is traveling a lot of countries like Nordic Summit में participate करने गए, ओमान गए, इंडोनेशिया गए, right, अभी जब न्यूजीलैंड गए, उसके पहले ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए, सो फ्रांस गए. सो ऑल दीज विजिट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड गिवन द फैक्ट कि इतनी ज्यादा कंट्रीज में विजिट हो रही हैं, करंट जियोपॉलिटिकल सिचुएशन जो है उसकी वजह से सीचेल्स गए थे, फिर उसके पास स्लोवाकिया भी गए थे. राइट, सो ऑल दीज विजिट्स आर एक्सट्रीमली रेलेवेंट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. राइट, तो इन पे हमें थोड़ा सा क्लोजली फॉलो करते रहना. देन वी हैव क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. The third India-Australia Annual Leaders Summit marked a significant shift in diplomatic framing, with both leaders choosing to elevate their relationship paradigm from the traditional 3 Cs to a new strategic framework. Which of the following correctly identifies this newly adopted framework? 4 pillars of partnership: coal, cyber, climate, culture. 4 Ds: democracy, defense, diaspora, dosti. Quad plus convergence, security, supply chain, skilling and sustainability. 3 pillars of progress: maritime, minerals and mobility. Now anyone who is regular or who is regularly attending those evening sessions, और वो अभी तक के हम लोगों ने 4 क्वेश्चन डिस्कस किए, उन चारों क्वेश्चंस का आप बहुत इजीली आंसर कर सकते हैं. राइट, सो एनीवन वुड लाइक टू आंसर क्वेश्चन नंबर 4? क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. So for question number 4, the correct option is option B. I've discussed this particular information as well कि क्रिकेट करी और कॉमनवेल्थ से डेमोक्रेसी, डिफेंस, डायस्पोरा एंड दोस्ती की तरफ इंडिया और ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने अपने रिलेशंस को एलिवेट किया. सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन बी, फ्रॉम क्रिकेट करी एंड कॉमनवेल्थ टू डेमोक्रेसी, डिफेंस, डायस्पोरा एंड दोस्ती. राइट, सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन बी. लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, which is question number 5. During the summit, the two countries witnessed progress under India-Australia sports collaboration roadmap, which emphasizes the sharing of high-performance expertise. The roadmap specifically prioritizes developmental assistance and expertise sharing for which category of sporting events: youth, Commonwealth Games and agribusiness sports, para-sports and the Olympics, maritime traditional games and cricket analytics, high-altitude military sports and winter games. Which is the correct option for question number 5? Which category of sporting events? The roadmap specifically prioritizes developmental assistance and expertise sharing for which category of sporting events? These are your 4 options, and anyone who is interested in answering question number 5, you may comment your answers. Option C, okay, fine, let's see. Option B, so अभी वो कौन बनेगा करोड़पति वाला जो म्यूजिक नहीं होता वैसा हम नहीं कर सकते, बट अगेन फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन बी. द प्रोएक्टिवली लॉन्च्ड India Australia sports collaboration roadmap is designated to promote high performance sports centers, particularly focusing on sharing expertise for para स्पोर्ट्स एंड द ओलंपिक्स। तो हमने ये पर्टिकुलर इन्फॉर्मेशन भी डिस्कस की थी इवनिंग सेशंस में कि वी हैड अ लॉट ऑफ डिस्कशन रिगार्डिंग ओलंपिक्स एंड इंडिया बीइंग द होस्ट ऑफ 2030 कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स, राइट। सो उस चीज को आपको थोड़ा सा याद रखना है। नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट। Yes. As a significant gesture of cultural diplomacy, Australia voluntarily agreed to repatriate 3 historical antiquities of Tamil Nadu origin back to India. Which of the following lists the correct medium or material composition of Nandi, Bhadrakali Trident and Skanda Kartikeya sculptures respectively? तो मैंने आपको एक पिक्चर दिखाई थी जब हम वो सेशन इवनिंग सेशंस की डिस्कशन कर रहे थे, तो मैंने आपको एक पिक्चर दिखाई थी कि ये जो 3 अलग अलग स्टैचूज ऑस्ट्रेलिया रिटर्न कर रहा है इंडिया को, ये किन किन चीजों के बने हैं, मैंने आपको ये भी बताया था। सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 6, व्हाट इज द करेक्ट कॉम्पोजिशन ऑफ दीज स्टैचूज? बासाल्ट, ग्रेनाइट, ब्रॉन्ज, ब्रॉन्ज, बासाल्ट, ग्रेनाइट, ग्रेनाइट, ब्रॉन्ज, बासाल्ट और ग्रेनाइट, बासाल्ट, ब्रॉन्ज। नाउ इट इज अ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन, इट इज अ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन। Yeah, hello, hi everyone. So, which is the correct composition for all these 3 sculptures? Nandi, Bhadrakali Trident and Skanda Kartikeya का जो sculpture था, so इसका correct composition is option C. Bronze, granite, bronze and basalt. Nandi sculpture granite का था, Trident, Bhadrakali Trident bronze था और 6 हेडेड स्कंदा कार्तिकेय का जो स्कल्पचर था वो बासाल्ट का था। सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन सी। नाउ विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट इज क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 एंड दैट वुड बी द लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर पैसेज एंड देन विल मूव टू पैसेज नंबर 2। The Australia-India Partnership for Cyber Critical Technologies and Supply Chains was launched during the summit to bolster digital resilience. The initiative is designed to build directly upon an existing bilateral cooperation framework established in which year? 2014, 2020, 2023, 2025. Now, this particular information was also discussed. अब याद रखिएगा एक पर्टिकुलर रेलेवेंट ईयर है जो हम ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं एंड दैट इज 2014, बिकॉज इन 2014 इंडिया एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया साइंड सिविल न्यूक्लियर अग्रीमेंट कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया से जो हम यूरेनियम इंपोर्ट करेंगे उसका सिर्फ और सिर्फ हम न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए यूटिलाइजेशन करेंगे, राइट। सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर? ऑप्शन बी, जो हमारा 2020 का पैक्ट था या जो हमारे अग्रीमेंट था उसको हमने अभी अपग्रेड किया है, राइट। द न्यूली लॉन्च्ड ऑस्ट्रेलिया इंडिया पार्टनरशिप फॉर साइबर क्रिटिकल टेक्नोलॉजीज एंड सप्लाई चेन्स। पैक्ट्स का फुल फॉर्म याद रखिएगा, पार्टनरशिप फॉर क्रिटिकल साइबर क्रिटिकल टेक्नोलॉजी एंड सप्लाई चेन्स was rolled out to build on the 2020 framework. Therefore 2020 is the correct baseline year. So baseline year is 2020 when pact initiative was launched. It was upgraded or it is upgraded in 2026 during the recent visit of Indian Prime Minister to Australia, right? So this was your passage number 1, purely based upon the pattern which consortium of NLUs basically हमेशा वो पूछते हैं, right? So this was your passage number 1. Now we'll move to passage number 2. Okay, so I guess this is actually from my side. So this is the misplacement of slide happened because of some, I guess, मेरे से वो drag हो गया गलती से. So that's not a problem. Now this is again, this particular topic is very relevant. It's very important and it based upon a very important piece of information and that is World Population Day. So recently we observed World Population Day, तो उस पर ये बेस्ड पूरा का पूरा पैसेज है. हम फटाफट डिस्कस कर लेते हैं वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन डे के बारे में कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स. नाउ द एनुअल ऑब्जर्वेंस ऑफ वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन डे ऑन 11th July was originally inspired by the global population crossing a significant demographic milestone in 1987. What was the specific milestone reached on the day that initiated this global concern? Now, we don't celebrate World Population Day. We observe World Population Day because this was something which is very concerning. The pace at which the population of this world is increasing, it is very concerning. So we observed World Population Day in 1987, which significant demographic milestone was breached. And that's why we decided that we'll observe World Population Day on 11th of July every year. 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion or 6 billion? Question number 1. What is the correct option for question number 1? What is the correct option for question number 1? Anyone who'd like to answer question number 1? So for question number 1, the correct option is option C. The demographic milestone was कि 11th July 1987 को world population 5 billion का mark cross कर चुकी थी. Right. That's why we observe World Population Day on 11th of July every year. Exactly. The correct option is option C, 5 billion, that we have already discussed, right? Now moving on to the next question, moving on to question number 2. While the United Nations Development Program recommended the creation of World Population Day in 1989, it was formally institutionalized through a specific international resolution. Which body adopted resolution 45 by 216 in December 1990 to formally establish its annual observance? Now this is a very easy question. This is a halwa question. I hope कि आप सब लोग इसका आंसर कर लेंगे. The United Nations Security Council, the United Nations General Assembly, the United Nations Economic and Social Council, the Governing Council of the United Nations Population Fund. Which is the correct option for question number 2? It's a halwa question. Come on guys, question number 2. So, United Nations General Assembly adopted resolution number 45 by 216 in December 1990. And it was finally decided that 11th July will be observed as World Population Day. It's a matter of concern. That's why we observe World Population Day. Now we'll move to the next question, which is question number 3. The official theme for World Population Day 2026. So for this particular session, what I have done is कि जो बहुत बेसिक कॉमन इंफॉर्मेशन जो आप लोग याद रखते हैं, विच यू फील दैट आर रेलेवेंट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन, मैंने उन्हें क्वेश्चंस में आपको दे दिया है और फिर उस पर्टिकुलर इंफॉर्मेशन का एक्सटेंशन मैंने आपसे पूछा है क्वेश्चंस में. ठीक है. द ऑफिशियल थीम फॉर वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन डे 2026, realizing the hopes and aspirations of young people today and for the future, is derived from a specialized global report which organization publishes the foundational report titled Life Choices and Futures, What Young People Want and What Shapes Their Decision About Relationships and Parenthood. Right. तो आपको ये बताना है the theme for World Population Day 2026 is realizing the hopes and aspirations of young people today and for the future. This is the theme for the 2026 World Population Day. इसे एक स्पेसिफिक ग्लोबल रिपोर्ट से लिया गया. उस रिपोर्ट का टाइटल आपको यहाँ पर मेंशन किया गया. दिस इज द टाइटल ऑफ द रिपोर्ट. यू हैव टू टेल अस कि ये रिपोर्ट रिलीज कौन करता है. राइट. यूनाइटेड नेशंस पॉपुलेशन फंड, यूनाइटेड नेशंस डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम, वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम. एनीवन वुड लाइक टू आंसर क्वेश्चन नंबर 3? Question number 3. Okay, question number 3. The correct option is option A. United Nations Population Fund has published this particular report which inspired the theme for the World Population Day 2026. Now we'll move to question number 4. In contemporary global demographics, certain developed countries are experiencing an acute structural phase of population aging where a recognizable segment enters the 65 plus age bracket. What specific term is used to describe this demographic phenomenon currently being witnessed by nations like Japan and Italy? Demographic dividend loss, the aging avalanche, the silver tsunami or baby boomer bust? So 65 plus का जो एज कैटेगरी होता है उसको फॉर्मली क्या टर्म, स्पेसिफिक टर्म यूज किया जाता है फॉर दैट? Silver tsunami. The provided information states that countries like Japan and Italy are currently facing silver tsunami. याद रखिएगा, silver tsunami is a phenomenon जहां पर 65 plus एज के जो लोग होते हैं इनकी पॉपुलेशन बहुत तेजी से जब इंक्रीज होने लगती है, we call it silver tsunami. Now we'll move to question number 5. According to the United Nations demographic projections provided for long-term developmental planning, India's population is expected to remain the world's largest through the century. In which decade is India's population specifically projected to reach its peak at approximately 1.7 billion before starting to gradually decline? So, अभी हमारे कंट्री का पॉपुलेशन इज समवेयर 1.45 बिलियन. जब पीक पे होगी तो 1.7 बिलियन होगा. आपको ये बताना है कि ये पीक कब हम अचीव करेंगे, अर्ली 2040s, 2050s, 2060s और 2080s. Which is the correct option for question number 5? Again, it's a very easy question, question number 5. Anyone who's interested in answering question number 5, they may answer question number 5 and you can win a 5-star chocolate from my side and you can claim it from the offline center. साकेत में आकर के आप ले सकते हैं, बिकॉज मैं आपके घर पे तो इसको कुरियर नहीं करने वाला हूं. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन सी. अर्ली 2060s में इंडिया की जो पॉपुलेशन है वो अपने पीक को टच कर लेगी, दैट इज 1.7 बिलियन. सो बेसिकली हम लोग 2060s में, अर्ली 2060s में हम लोग के कंट्री का पॉपुलेशन होगा 170 करोड़. अब आप इस तरीके से जब क्वांटम आपको नंबर कोई बताता है तो उसको इमेजिन करना इज बिट डिफिकल्ट, बट आप इस हिसाब से सोचिए कि अगर पूरे कंट्री से आपको हर एक इंसान एक एक रुपए भी दे दे तो आपके पास में 170 करोड़ रुपए हो जाएंगे. That's the quantum of 170 crore. That's how the big this particular number is, 170 crore. हम 2060 में इस टारगेट नहीं है एक्चुअली, हम 2060s में, अर्ली 2060s में इस पीक को अचीव करेंगे. The annual activities of World Population Day are designed to strategically align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The day explicitly targets the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women under which specific sustainable development goal? SDG 3, 5, 10 or 12. Option A, B, C and D. Now you have to tell me that which sustainable development goal exactly talks about the promotion of gender equality. Now please be very meticulous when we discuss about sustainable development goals. These sustainable development goals are relevant for each and every examination, whether it's CLAT, ALIT, MSCT, SLAT, NLSAT or CUET. For that purpose, जिस भी पर्टिकुलर एग्जामिनेशन के सिलेबस का पार्ट करंट अफेयर्स और स्टैटिक जीके है, वहां पर सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स हमारे लिए हमेशा इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. और क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 का आंसर है ऑप्शन बी, दैट इज सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल नंबर 5 टॉक्स अबाउट द प्रमोशन ऑफ जेंडर इक्वालिटी, whereas सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल 3 talks about good health and well-being. So for question number 6, the correct option was option B. Now we'll move to question number 7, and this is your question number 7. Following its formal resolution, the international community held the first ever official global observance of World Population Day. In which year was the first World Population Day observed with active participation from over 19 countries? From over 90 countries, 1987, 1989, 1990, 1992. First formal observance कब हुआ था वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन डे का? This is your question. This is your last question from passage number 2. We have 2 more passages. So anyone who's interested in answering question number 7. And for question number 7, students, the correct option is option C. On 11th of July 1990, the first formal observance of World Population Day took place, where more than 19 countries proactively participated in this particular observance. So for question number 7, students, the correct option was option C, 1990. This was your passage number 2. First passage was based on India-Australia Summit. Second passage was based on World Population Day. Now we'll switch to passage number 3. And it is basically based on North Atlantic Treaty Organization, because recently Turkey has hosted this 2026 NATO Summit. Again, a very relevant organization for CLAT, ALIT and all other law entrance examination, given the fact that Russia-Ukraine conflict is escalating day by day. तो दोनों conflict escalate हो रहे हैं अभी, वेस्ट एशियन conflict भी और रशिया-यूक्रेन conflict भी. Who is the serving Secretary General of NATO, leading the alliance during the landmark geopolitical developments and summit proceedings in 2026? Mark Rutte, Jens Stoltenberg, Andres Fogh Rasmussen, Jaap de Hoop Scheffer. Who is the current Secretary General of North Atlantic Treaty Organization? You have 4 options. On the left side of your screen, you may see your 4 options: Mark Rutte, Jens Stoltenberg, Andres Fogh Rasmussen, or Jaap de Hoop Scheffer. So for question number 1, students, again it's a very halwa question. It's a very halwa easy question. So for question number 1, students, the correct option is option A. Mark Rutte is the current Secretary General of North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now we'll move to question number 2. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or North Atlantic Treaty, formerly known as Washington Treaty of 1949, establishes the framework for NATO's collective self-defense. Upon which specific article of the United Nations Charter is this regional security treaty fundamentally anchored? Article 5, Article 10, Article 51, or Article 102? Question number 2. Anyone who's interested in answering question number 2? It's a very easy question. Question number 2. Question number 2, it's very easy. Option A. Now this is your question. Please read your question very carefully. Upon which specific article of the United Nations Charter is this regional security treaty fundamentally anchored? United Nations Charter पूछा है यहाँ पर आपसे. A or C? Okay, fine. Fine, A or C, 50-50. So you don't have a lifeline. So for question number 2, students, the correct option is option C, Article 51. Article 51, please remember this. Article 51 of the UN Charter talks about the principle of Article 51 talks about principle of self-defense, and Article 5 of the UN Charter इसी पर based है Article 5 of Washington Treaty, which talks about principle of collective defense. So Article 5 of the Washington Treaty is modeled upon Article 51 of the UN Charter. So for question number 2, students, the correct option is option C. We'll move to question number 3. In May 2026, NATO announced strategic measures to strengthen its eastern flank by deploying the German Netherlands Corps as a tactical command headquarters for Estonia and Latvia. In which city is the headquarters of this specific military corps permanently situated? Münster, Brussels, Mons और Ankara. Now, जो भी लोग evening sessions attend करें उन्हें इस particular question का आंसर पता होना चाहिए. Anyone who would like to answer question number 3? NATO का military corps permanently कहाँ पे situated है? Münster, Brussels, Mons और Ankara. And for this particular question, the correct option is Münster. The specific unit chosen for its tactical command zone is the German Netherlands Corps, which is permanently headquartered in Münster, Germany. So for question number 3, the correct option is Münster, Germany. Now we'll move to question number 4. While NATO has expanded significantly over the decades, European geopolitical and institutional configuration vary across the continent. Which of the following European nations holds the unique status of being a member of the European Union but is explicitly not a member of NATO? Switzerland, Australia, the United Kingdom, or Moldova? Which country holds the unique status of being a member of European Union but not being a member of North Atlantic Treaty Organization? For which question? The headquarters of NATO is located in Brussels, Belgium, students. NATO का हेडक्वार्टर ब्रुसेल्स बेल्जियम में. जो जर्मनी नीदरलैंड्स वो स्पेसिफिक टैक्टिकल कॉर्प्स क्रिएट किया गया. क्वेश्चन आपसे उसका हेडक्वार्टर पूछ रहा था कि उसका परमानेंट हेडक्वार्टर का है. उसका परमानेंट हेडक्वार्टर म्यूस्टर जर्मनी में सिचुएटेड है, राइट? या सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 इज एब्सोल्युटली फाइन. नेटो का हेडक्वार्टर इज इन ब्रुसेल्स बेल्जियम. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 का करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन बी, राइट? It explicitly establishes that Austria is a member of the European Union but is not a member of NATO. Conversely, the UK is a member of NATO but not the EU, while nations like Switzerland, Moldova belong to neither. Right? So for question number 4, students, the correct option was option B. Austria is a member of European Union but they are not a member of North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now we'll move to question number 5. In the historical timeline of NATO's enlargement beyond its original 12 founding signatories, which year marked the alliance's first expansion to integrate Greece and Turkey to secure its southern Mediterranean flank? Now, why this particular question is more relevant for your examination? Because Turkey was hosting this 2026 summit. So it is sine qua non to know in which year Turkey joined this particular coveted defense alliance along with Greece. 1949, 1952, 1955 or 1982. For this particular question, the correct answer is option B. The first round of expansion occurred in 1952 when Turkey and Greece were included in this coveted organization. Remember this? NATO was established on 4th of April 1949. It had 12 members, 12 founding members, and the current strength is 32. Sweden became the 32nd nation to join the group in 2024, whereas Finland joined the group in 2023. फिनलैंड इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि फिनलैंड रशिया के साथ डायरेक्ट बॉर्डर शेयर करता है. While the primary political decision making headquarters of NATO is located in Brussels. देखिए आप लोग ये ब्रूजल्स कर रहे थे ना, ब्रूजल्स में हेडक्वार्टर नेटो का लोकेटेड है. जो डिसीजन मेकिंग बॉडी उसका पॉलिटिकल डिसीजन मेकिंग बॉडी उसका हेडक्वार्टर ब्रूजल्स में लोकेटेड है. इट्स क्रूशियल अलाइड कमांड ऑपरेशंस मिलिट्री हेडक्वार्टर इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड नियर विच सिटी? एंटवर्प, म्यूस्टर, मॉन्स और पेरिस. अब आपको ये बताना है कि नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ट्रीटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो मिलिट्री हेडक्वार्टर है इट इज लोकेटेड नियर विच स्पेसिफिक सिटी? So for question number 6 students, the correct option is option C, which is Mons. Mons के पास में ही मिलिट्री हेडक्वार्टर है जिसको शेप बोलते हैं, राइट. द कमांड ऑपरेशन मिलिट्री हेडक्वार्टर शेप इज लोकेटेड नियर मॉन्स, बेल्जियम. Now in 1997, a critical step in post-Cold World War diplomacy was taken to foster structured bilateral discussions and manage security relationship directed between the US and Russia. What is the name of the official document through which the specific dialogue mechanism was introduced? The Washington Accord, the North Atlantic Cooperation Treaty, the European Security Pact, or the Founding Act? Question number 7. And for question number 7, the correct option is option D, the Founding Act. The text highlight that in 1997, NATO officially encouraged bilateral discussion between the US and Russia, specifically through the mechanism of the Founding Act. So for question number 7, students, the correct option is option D. Now we'll move to the next passage, and this is going to be the last set or the last passage that we will be discussing in this particular session. We come up with the exact model जो CLAT आपसे या कंसोर्शियम ऑफ NLUs आपसे पूछ सकते हैं. हम exactly उसी मॉडल पर हम ये पूरा का पूरा डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं. So please watch this particular session very carefully. A lot of important questions are there. अगर आपको लगता है कि कोई क्वेश्चन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, so please keep on writing the answers for that particular question as well. Now this is the first one. So Sanai Takahashi, the first female or the first woman Prime Minister of Japan, was recently in India to participate in the 16th India-Japan Annual Summit. Now this is your question number 1. During the 16th India-Japan Annual Summit held in New Delhi, the two nations achieved a major breakthrough by reaching an agreement in principle on their first ever military hardware co-development project. What is the name of this naval strength technology project? Lupex project, Unicorn project, Power project और Mogami project. अब ये पूरा पैसेज वो लोग बहुत इजीली सॉल्व कर सकते हैं जिन्होंने अभी रिसेंटली एक केशव सर ने सेशन लिया था इंडिया 16th इंडिया जापान बायलैटरल रिलेशन पे. जितने लोगों ने वो सेशन देखा होगा आप इजीली सारे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेंगे, राइट. सो फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 स्टूडेंट्स, द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज ऑप्शन बी, यूनिकॉर्न. According to the provided text, India and Japan achieved a landmark breakthrough during the summit by reaching an agreement in principle on the remaining technical aspects of Unicorn. Unicorn का full form भी याद रखिएगा, Unified Complex Radio Antenna. Unicorn stands for Unified Complex Radio Antenna Project. Now we'll move to question number 2. To support India's domestic transition towards a circular economy and sustainable agriculture, the summit witnessed the launch of the India-Japan Cooperative Biogas for Growth Initiative. What is the specific target for the number of biogas and organic fertilizer plants to be established under this initiative? 250 plants, 500 plants, 750 plants and 1000 plants. This question we have already discussed in one of the earlier sessions. So गलत नहीं बताना. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 के मैं आपको बताना कि कितने बायोगैस प्लांट्स हम एस्टैब्लिश करने वाले हैं. So for question number 2, students, the correct option is option D. We will establish 1000 biogas and organic fertilizer plants. Now moving on to question number 3. During the official visit of the Japanese delegation to New Delhi in July 2026, the two countries signed a significant number of MOUs accompanied by massive financial investment package. What is the specific evaluation of the fresh Japanese investment package finalized via these MOUs? 2.5 billion US dollars, 5 billion US dollars, 10 billion US dollars और 12.5 billion US dollars. So recently जो ये 16th इंडिया जापान एनुअल समिट था, इस टाइम पर हमने बहुत सारे MOU साइन किए जापान के साथ में. आपको ये बताना है कि इन MOUs का टोटल वैल्यू कितना है. 2.5 billion, 5 billion, 10 billion और 12.5 billion. For question number 3, the correct option is option D. Total MOUs जो साइन हुए, that those MOUs have a total value of 12.5 billion dollar. This is question number 3. Now we'll move to question number 4. Now, the strategic convergence between India and Japan has steadily evolved since the mid-20th century through distinct institutional frameworks. In which year did the two nations formally establish the special strategic and global partnership that serve as the current foundation of their bilateral architecture? 2000, 2006, 2011 or 2014? Which is the correct option for question number 4? In which year did the two nations formally establish the special strategic and global partnership that serve as the current foundation of their bilateral architecture? 2000, 2006, 11 or 14? For question number 4, the correct option is option D. It was in 2014 that the relationship was formally upgraded to special strategic and global partnership. Therefore, option D is correct. So for question number 4, students, the correct option, option D, that was 2014. Now question number 5. In the light of growing maritime challenges in the Indo-Pacific region, the summit showcased a significant diplomatic expansion by announcing plans to initiate a new trilateral 1.5-track policy dialogue, which other Southeast Asian nation is integrated into this new maritime security dialogue framework. Vietnam, Philippines, Indonesia and Australia. We have discussed this particular set of information. Please answer question number 5. What is the correct answer for question number 5? So for question number 5, students, the correct option is option B. And what is option B? The Philippines. So ये जो trilateral security dialogue है, जो maritime है, इसमें India, Japan and the Philippines. Trilateral 1.5 track policy dialogue is with the Philippines, inaugurated by India, और Japan भी इसका part है. Now India's northeastern region occupies a central position in India-Japan subnational development framework. In 2026, which city hosted the 6th India-Japan Intellectual Conclave to discuss industrial value chains connecting the northeastern region with the Bay of Bengal? Guwahati, Kohima, Imphal or Shillong? Which is the question? What is the correct answer for question number 6? Guwahati, Kohima, Imphal or Shillong? Then for question number 6, we have the correct option.